Technologiezentrum Horb, with its plastic cluster Innonet Kunststoff, is partner of AlpLinkBioEco project, funded with an Interreg Alpine Space program by the European Union. Object of AlpLinkBioEco is to develop a cross-alpine circular bio-based economic strategy by generating new value chains between actors that have not yet been available on the market.
My name is Udo Eckloff, and together with my colleague Janet Rosenberger, we shall summarize within this video our BioLink with the necessary piloting sessions that were conducted to discuss the feasibility of the novel developed value chain among different partners, as well as the achieved and expected outcomes of the value chain. Our complex, promising BioLink with multiple actors has the title From Lignocellulosic Biomaterial and Residues from Food Production to biodegradable or recyclable end products. The starting point was an actor from our network who offers the possibility of creating a carbon sink in the atmosphere by preventing cellulosic residues from simply rotting in the nature and thereby releasing the bound CO2 from the biomass. Rather, the carbon content of the biomass is converted into amorphous carbon via carbonization and serves as a starting and filling material for a variety of applications. A corresponding IP is being processed for the material composition and the manufacturing process.
Various matches on the use of carbon were located in the project database. However, we found that when we viewed as a whole, more value-added chains could open up. Therefore, further actors, information and documents were continuously entered into the database. After localization of specific contact persons, initial discussions were held in which the general desire for sustainability, recyclability and circular economy was in the foreground of the selected actors. After these actors expressed their interest in participating in the project, a consisting BioLink from biomass to the end product was developed. In the piloting sessions, the aspects were examined using the proposed question list and then summarized for the project. Despite COVID-19, it was possible to speak to all actors personally, mostly in their operating facilities, and to deepen details in phone calls, emails and video conferences. We would now like to explain you our developed BioLink in detail.
By linking actors from biomass production, animal utilization, chemical companies, the central pyrolysis process and scientific institutes, we arrive at two value chain lines. Foamed compostable products in the broadest sense of a substitute for EPS, and recyclable injection molded parts for a wide variety of applications. The individual components of the biomass are as follows. Proteins, also known as hemoglobin or gelatin, are produced industrially from animal remains and serve as a compostable compound matrix for the amorphous carbon. Polylactic acid, PLA, is produced from sugar and cellulose in a fermentation process. PLA serves as a connection matrix for recyclable, partly also biodegradable products with high proportion of amorphous carbon. Forestry, agriculture, waste disposal and industrial companies supply the lignocellulose containing residues. They are processed in an amorphous carbon and energy using a CO2-neutral pyrolysis process. The energy can be used to generate electricity or be fed into the district heating network. The carbon is ground to product-specific grain sizes and flows into the value chain.
Various formulations for processable compounds are being developed at 3 research institutions. In coordination with the packaging manufacturer, compounds are manufactured, processed and tested on a laboratory scale. In a second development loop, the compounds are already set to product-specific parameters. This is followed by an industrial process development for the respective compounds in the technical center of various companies from the mechanical engineering and packaging industry. Manufacturers of packaging materials and injection molders are equally suitable processors of the compounds. Our selected actor combines both manufacturing processes.
The results will be finished, testable and ready-to-use end products for the market, such as compostable plant pots for reforestation areas and protective packaging for high-quality products or solid high-complex plastic injection molded parts. Until October 2020, materials and know-how were exchanged between the actors, compounding tests and, in some cases, injection and foaming trials on the test bodies conducted. It is likely that the desired approximately 80% carbon content will not be achievable, but could be up to 50%. The basic materials have a decisive influence on the marketability and the products and should be taken into account during the process development. It has not been yet completed as the laboratories were only able to work with limited capacity due to COVID-19. With this BioLink, value chains from countryside to the city are represented. The PLR products with this distinctive carbon black can be sorted out for recycling and easily reprocessed. Packaging material, for example for screens, laptops or cell phones, can be disposed of by the end user directly in the garden or in the organic waste bin. In composting plants, the voluminous parts lead to better ventilation of the rotting process, and the high proportion of carbon leads to a demonstrable improvement in the resulting compost towards terra preta.
The questions developed in the AlpLinkBioEco for the piloting sessions were extremely helpful for conducting discussions and helped create a structured and consistent documentation. We hope to be able to contribute to the successful finalization of the project with our BioLink and its piloting sessions. Thank you very much for your attention.